We have Senator Erin McGreehan on the issue of the challenges faced by the travel agency industry in Ireland. Senator McGreehan.
Thank you very much, Ciarán, and thank you, Minister, for coming in this morning to us. I just wanted to ask the Minister for an update on the unique and dire situation of our country's travel agencies. The companies are operating currently with about 130% of a loss and refunding all revenue for a year and a half, pretty much without government assistance. With staff of over 3,500 people throughout our country, they're by no means insignificant. The Irish Travel Agents Association have continuously voiced their concerns regarding the impact of COVID-19 on the COVID-19 crisis is having on travel agencies, and have called on assistance from the government to repair some of the damage to the Irish travel industry. I have spoken to many of my local travel agencies, and if anyone is from North Louth, you'll know about Centre Travel, KT Travel, McGill Travel and O'Callaghan Travel. These businesses have combined have been in operation for about 180 years. They employ about 30 staff and have over 16 million of a turnover annually, so they're by no means small fry. These are small enterprises and give personalised and excellent customer service. They were thriving, viable businesses and now see no light. But they're still giving an excellent service, however, with negative return. I'll give you an example. One of these travel agencies have only 5 bookings since September. This week they will be issuing 75 cheques of refunds to their customers. There are costs to refunds, as we know. Staff are needed to do this, a large accumulation of bank charges, office charges, rent, heat, all outgoings. It has been estimated by one travel agent that it takes up to 9 hours for each refund to be organised, with all the administrative hurdles, phone calls, emails, etc. Everything is going out, Minister, but they're not a normal retail outlet. And it must be remembered that a travel agent only makes their money when the customer gets on the flight and the flight takes off. As we know, some flights are taking off, and when the travel advice from government states not to travel, and the person doesn't travel, under EU law, the travel agent is bound to refund the cost of the flight, but the airline is not. I have 2 questions, Minister, and 2 specific questions. So 5 travel agents have now gone into liquidation, and who is doing this refunding? It is the EU law that the customers are refunded. Is it the government's responsibility, or is it the Commission for Aviation that are charged with this refunding? Second question is regards clarity for travel agents, which they have been trying to get clarity on, is whether they're entitled to the COVID restriction support scheme. Are they eligible, and is it on their turnover, or based on their turnover, or based on their profits? They've been trying to get this answer for a while. I also want to note that the refund credit note is of practically no assistance to the travel agency, as it really is only to protect the customer if the travel agent goes into liquidation, and it doesn't help the travel agent to keep a business running. It really only protects the customers, and it's obviously important that these customers are protected, but the businesses still need to refund. I also stress that the travel agents that I speak to respect the restrictions. They understand why the restrictions are there, but they just need help to ensure that they're still in existence when the restrictions are lifted. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Minister.
Thanks for your look. I want to thank Senator Erin McGreehan for raising this issue. It's certainly a very important one, and I think you raised it as a national issue, but also recognising the importance of the sector to the North East as well. And you list off probably some of the ones in Louth, but again, I'd be very familiar myself as the Department of Jobs and Enterprise, the important service they provide nationally to an industry, and backing up corporate service as well as the whole domestic market and the tours, the domestic tourism market abroad that they're involved in servicing. But I also recognise that they put a lot of work in at the start of this COVID, trying to work with it. Certainly, we would have seen that in my own case. I've seen Nav and Travel with Martin Skelly, would have seen Emer Hannon with Hannon Travel, getting involved, working with the state to get people home who were stuck abroad as well, and engaging with the customers throughout the last couple of months, trying to provide that service. But very much at the start of COVID, the sector stepped up and aided and helped get people home who are in trouble as well, and solve a lot of issues as well. So they're very relevant sector to our country, but are certainly very relevant to local communities as well. I want to recognise that as part of this debate. So I do recognise that many businesses and thousands of people working in the travel agent industry have been severely impacted by the collapse in national and international travel and tourism as a result of COVID-19 restrictions. The needs of these businesses and their employees have formed part of our consideration of the range of grants and funding assistance that we have introduced both in Budget 2021 and in the July stimulus, and as we develop our recovery plan that will be launched in November, December as well. And again, I agree with you, as a sector they do recognise the importance of restrictions, and they've always stressed that at our meetings as well, that they do recognise the importance of protecting public health, but it's how they can survive through that is their issue. I met with representatives of the Irish Travel Agents Association, the ITTAA, in mid-September, and like many other departments as well, and I've received further representations from them since the publication of Budget 2021, and I've heard their case quite strongly, and they've also been in touch with a lot of members of both houses here trying to make their case. And you're right to say they are unique when it comes to, compared to other retail sectors, they are a very different form of business as well, and business model. The Irish travel sector is a strong and dynamic industry which employs over 3,500 people across Ireland. Last year, the Commission for Aviation Regulation reported a 1.2 billion turnover for Irish travel agents in 2018 as part of its annual report for that year. Travel agents are engaged in all aspects of overseas travel, including leisure, corporate and those visiting family abroad, and we're all very familiar with this, and certainly I can see it in our department from a corporate point of view too, their importance. There is interdependency between outgoing and incoming air and sea travel volumes. The travel industry is a nationwide SME sector, largely comprised of family-run businesses, employing over 3,500 people in our towns and cities across the country, including employees in rural Ireland and every part of Ireland. You've mentioned the North East here as well. The ITTAA have informed us and have told us very clearly that the majority of Irish travel agents are at risk of long-term unemployment unless immediate action is taken. Again, backing up what you said yourself, Senator, that this is important, that this sector do benefit from supports that are provided. The Irish travel industry has remained active with ongoing work since March to service customers with cancellations, refunds and rebooking holidays, and this work is ongoing. These companies could not close down even though they were effectively blocked from trading, and they've had to continue to carry a proportion of salary and overhead costs, and we recognise that, and that's part of the argument they are making, which is a unique argument compared to other businesses as well. Travel agents provide an essential service to customers. The ITAA have told us clearly that if the travel agents are not there, this responsibility will fall to the Commission for Aviation Regulation, and there will be costs associated with that as well. So it's important that we do make sure that the supports we have are reaching them as well. In recognising of their importance and the importance of many other businesses and many other sectors, the budget provides a significant package of tax and expenditure measures to build the resilience of the economy and to help vulnerable but viable business across all sectors. And again, try to keep business in a position of staying open as best they possibly can when they're allowed, but also surviving for the couple of months and be in a position to thrive again in the years ahead, which this sector believe they certainly can. And they're very clear on that if they can get through this next 6, 7, 8 months, they will be in a strong position to again provide the service, create jobs and operate in the Irish market in the years ahead. In addition to the measures announced in the July stimulus package, including the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme, the Restart Grant Plus and the variations of that, because there's 2 or 3 different variations of that as well, the low-cost loans and commercial rate waivers. And there's a lot of supports that have been announced there, but let's try to make sure that they're tailored right to suit the different businesses. As a result of the fact that businesses have had to close, we have made changes to the PUP and the EWSS scheme, again, recognising the situation with level 5. The new payment structure for the PUP includes the increase in the top rate to 350 for those who were earning in excess of 400 per week. This change to payment rates will apply in respect of all existing and new applicants, because the travel industry would have benefited from the initial wage subsidy scheme as well, and probably felt the second one didn't just suit their needs better. The increased rates here should help that case as well. The EWSS has also been amended to align with the amendment to PUP, with the top payment increasing to 350 for those earning over 400. As part of Budget 2021, the new COVID restriction support scheme, or as Chris were probably calling it in-house, is now operational through revenue and offers a targeted, timely and temporary sector-specific support to business forced to close or trade at significantly reduced levels due to COVID of up to €5,000 per week based on their turnover. I'm aware that members of the Houses have received representations on travel agents' eligibility for the scheme, and the full details of this scheme will be confirmed as part of the Finance Bill, which is being debated in the Oireachtas at the moment, and it's at its second stage in the Dáil, and will probably be in here, I'd say, next week as well. So we are also providing more and cheaper loan finance through Microfinance Ireland, SPCI and the new €2 billion credit guarantee scheme. So the level of help now being provided to businesses across all sectors is unprecedented and ahead of that available in many other jurisdictions. We will continue to keep the mix of support for specific sectors under review to ensure businesses can open as international travel recovers. And it's important that these supports, they are able to benefit from them as well. So I look forward to the completion of that debate with the Finance Bill over the next week or two as well, to bring clarification to this too. You also mentioned the voucher scheme, or sorry, not so much the refund, but the refund credit note. I know people might say that doesn't help the sector, but what that was trying to do at the early stages was to give confidence to those customers who didn't need to draw back their cash. And I'm very conscious that people in difficult times financially might have no choice but to take back their money that they had on deposit with a travel agent. They might not be in a position, but some or others might have been in a position not to have to take out that cash and to leave it with a travel agent to help support that sector. And that's what that credit note was about. It was given confidence that if you, as a customer and as a loyal customer of a travel agent for many years, if you were willing to leave your money there, that the state was saying that will be okay, it will be paid out at a later stage. So it just gave a bit of confidence there. I think it didn't get enough of a hearing, and I think maybe a lot of the customers didn't fully hear about or understand it, but it was trying to stop the withdrawal of cash or the seeking of deposits back, and that was the intention behind it. It made some impact, but maybe not enough, and certainly on its own wouldn't be enough to help the sector, and that's why we've announced all these other supports. And the case you're making for Chris, I think, is a very important one as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Minister. Senator, you have 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Minister, and thanks for the clarity on the Chris scheme. We are in complete agreement. They're a unique industry, not at all like normal retail. When they open the doors, their doors are open. So, virtually at the minute, and the money is just flowing out constantly. So I appreciate your time, and I appreciate the clarity, and I understand the refund credit note was for to give customers the assurances, but then it didn't really help the travel agents themselves. But thank you, and I look forward to giving back some positive news and to some of the travel agents in Dundalk. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thanks for raising that issue.